This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
We're paying tribute to one of your longest, closest personal friends, Mr. Gerald Brisco. How about that? He's going to turn the big 7-5 this Sunday.
Is he really?
Yes, he is.
Wow. Well, he's a hell of a guy. That's all I can say. He's probably, I don't have a friend inside wrestling better than Jerry Brisco. He's always been, he's loyal, hardworking. I've always said, you know, I give a lot of credit for the Attitude Era talent roster because I was in charge of it, putting it together, so forth and so on. But Gerald Brisco has never gotten the credit that he deserves for his recruiting. You know, we would not have signed, for example, Brock Lesnar if it had not been for Gerald Brisco. And there's the backstory that's kind of interesting because, you know, Brock is a University of Minnesota guy, and the head wrestling coach at Minnesota at that time was Jay Robinson. And Jay Robinson is a key component to this story because he recruited Brock, he signed Brock, he coached Brock. And when and Jerry and Jay Robinson were teammates on the Oklahoma State wrestling team back in the day, if you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
And so that was our end. And so we go start recruiting Brock, and Brock is wanting to go make money right away. He was motivated by the cash. He was not a big pro wrestling fan, but he was motivated by the potential to make a lot of money. And so we made a deal with Jay Robinson that we would not recruit him and offer him a job until Brock finished his senior year. And to be quite frank about it, it wasn't really because of the academics. It was because the thought was that Brock would win the national championship the next year at heavyweight in Division I. And so we made a deal that we would not, you know, tempt Brock. And so we kept our end of the deal. Jerry stayed in contact with Jay Robinson. And so at the end of the day, when he, meaning Brock, pronoun boy, not boy, uses the pronouns. He beat him. He beat him. Who's he and who's him? So we signed him up and took him to Louisville. And I remember so many stories about Brock. And, you know, we introduced him to Vince at a house show or a TV in Minneapolis. And Vince had never met him. He didn't know anything about him. Vince didn't follow amateur wrestling. So when Vince saw him, he made a U-turn. He was on his way to the ring or something. He made a U-turn, and it was like and he saw what I saw. He saw what we all saw. He saw what you saw. Anybody that saw it, you guys said, God dang, he's something special. He makes you look.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince loved that concept of where if you're walking through an airport, you want a talent that will turn heads.
Right.
And Lesnar turned heads. And he was a badass, and he was a great athlete. So we sent him Brock to Louisville, and Jerry babysat that deal too. But certainly the guys at Louisville, Cornette, Danny Davis, and all those dudes down there, Rip Rogers, they took good care of Brock. And we gave him a promotion early on. Brock became the foreman of the ring truck. So Brock drove the ring truck, and all the boys under contract and talents were the ring crew. So he was a big alpha male from the get-go. And so Jerry was invaluable to that situation. And I'm not so sure, Conrad, that through that Minnesota tie-in, that didn't help get, what's that kid's name? The WWE just signed.
Yeah, Gable Stevenson.
Yeah, that's it. Who won the gold medal in the Olympics at heavyweight. So Jerry's reach goes far and wide, and we ended up signing. We did everything we could to make Brock comfortable. We signed his best friend, Shelton Benjamin, who was not a gift. Shelton Benjamin, of all those guys, that one class that we had that included Brock and Randy Orton and Cena, John Cena, of course, Dave Batista. We had a good class. That was a good get. Some good gets right there. And so Sheldon was on site to make sure that the big alpha male didn't go off the ranch. And because he was a social guy. So, but Jerry's just incredible. And he started there. He had a great career as a wrestler. So we'll talk all about that. But the fans need to know that Jerry Brisco was invaluable to the formation of the WWE talent roster. And Brock wasn't the only guy he signed. I mean, the great thing about Jerry was that he had a connection through Jay Robinson, and Jay Robinson opened the door for Jerry to get him in front of all these college coaches. Some of the old time college coaches still had a hard on for wrestling. They weren't, I don't get that phone. That's phony. It's fake. No. Well, the money's not fake.
Right.
And I think that was the motivation for Brock. So, but Jerry got in front of all these coaches, and over time has built a network of contacts. He's got a powerful Rolodex, shall we say. And a lot of guys that Jerry signed still are working in WWE now. Some of the guys that came in after I left. So Jerry's done a great job. I think he was forced out. I may be using the wrong terminology too early. You can't replace those personal relationships, Conrad. You know that, being in sales.
Sure.
That's you're looking for that. So in any event, I'm looking forward to the show. It's talking about one of my fellow Oklahomans, and boy, when I got that job, he was always there to give me advice, listen, and counsel me, all those things. So he's just a hell of a good guy, and he's a Hall of Famer along with his brother, the great Jack Brisco.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.